Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you clicked. Thanks for popping in to listen to this bit of information about your energetic body. What is up with my hormones? This will be the kickoff class to this series that I have coming up called Your Energetic Body. And I had an interesting experience when I first stepped into really studying energy work about 15 years ago. Now, my history, as you might know, goes back 35 years with when I first learned Reiki. But about, oh golly, yeah, 15 years ago, I stepped into studying the Eden method, is what it's now called. Energy medicine is where I got all my training, the Donna Eden work. And the thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is the hormone piece, because that body of work encompasses the meridians, the chakras, the aura, and all kinds of energy systems. There are actually 9 different energy systems, so more than what I just mentioned. But I had invited a teacher to come to Lincoln to teach a class called Energy Medicine for Women. And in that class, there's a particular self-application of what is basically a hold where you put your hands in certain places to access what is going to impact the meridians and the hormones simultaneously with the places on the body where you can use the electromagnetic energy of your hands to create a change and impact those systems. So it works with all of the hormones and the pineal, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and its connection to liver. So we'll teach that in the class that's coming up later this month. But I wanted to tell you the story of what I experienced the first time I had the opportunity to do this particular bit of self-care. So we were in the class. I was hosting the class. It was here in Lincoln, Nebraska, where I live. And I had hosted it at the Unitarian Church because it was a wonderful space for it. And the presenter, the wonderful Kim Wedman from Kansas City, was up in front working with people, having people come up to be energy tested as we do in that body of work. We do some manual muscle testing to discern what's going on with people's energies. And it has science behind it too. I'll tell you more about that later. But so she was working with someone and had discovered that their hormones were really off, and then had all of us do that particular bit of self-care. And I, as a host would, was standing at the back of the room, making sure if anybody came in late that they felt welcomed and that they knew they could come in. It wasn't going to be loud or disruptive or anything. And I was standing back there and I did this hold. And honest to God, I felt like somebody poured a vat of warm honey on my head. I still laugh thinking about it because it was so clear. Now, I'll be honest, not every time I do an energy application do I feel anything that dramatic, but I did. So much so that being in the back of the room with the closed door behind me, I knew these things in my head, but I still turned around to look because it was so dramatic. What made it make a little more sense was that the very next day, my cycle started. And I was like, well, I was working with my body's hormones, and clearly they were all up and, could use a little calming. And so that's interesting. Then later, as I finished that training, that was early on when I didn't know a ton about the body of work, but I was interested in that particular slice of it. Later, when I was graduating, I don't know why it happened on that day. I think we were just telling stories when my classmates that had been through 2 years of training together, we were talking about some of our more dramatic moments with the work. And I said, I told them that story, and one of my classmates said, "Well, if it felt that dramatic, you must have really needed it." Well, as things progressed, unbeknownst to me, I completely stopped cycling and was all the way through menopause pretty quickly after I mean, I was by the time I stopped cycling, and that was within that 2-year period that this all happened. So it was not just that month's hormone up and down, it was my whole system was changing, and the dramatic impact that I felt that day had to do with how dramatically using my own hands on my own body were impacting my energies because they were in so much flux. So, if any of this relates to you, or if you're just curious about how you can impact your own energy, I would suggest just jump in a class. This series, they're 90 minutes to 2 hours. The next one is going to be Where Did My Energy Go? And then we're going to do a wonderful exploration with the energy systems and a sound healing professional that is a wonderful lady that I know well. And we're going to play with hey, this is what's up with this person's meridians or their chakra or their aura or whatever, and then have her apply energetic applications with sound healing. The stress techniques in Where Did My Energy Go, in addition to the individual systems and whatever comes up in class, is where we will go with class. So if you come, we will address whatever you have going on. And for this first one, we'll keep the focus on hormones, but also how stress affects our hormones and how particular organs and systems, how they all interrelate. So I can't wait to dive into it. I can't guarantee that you'll feel like somebody poured warm honey on your head, but I do know that you can impact your own energies with your hands every day. And many other things impact our energies every day. And I can't wait to take your hand and walk with you on this journey of learning more about your energetic body. So go to amywilliams.us, get signed up for whatever one speaks to you. Or if you don't really want to learn it, you just want to lay down at a table and have somebody else do it, I'd be absolutely delighted to be the one to give you and your body and your energies some kind care. So, can't wait to see who pops in and plays with energies with me. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.